to Earstravagent Adventures. I am your host, Rachel, alongside Katie, here to whisk you away on another thrilling journey through the magical realms of Disney, Universal, and beyond. This week, we are coming to you at a brand new time because we have a lot of thrilling parks and experience announcements to recap from the D23 Expo this past weekend. We're excited, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So excited. But first, thank you to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel, the ultimate family theme park experts. Planning theme park trips can be overwhelming, but Alonzi Travel is here to make it stress-free. With their years of experience, they're your multi-pass to hassle-free travel. They handle all the details, allowing you to focus on having fun with your loved ones. Whether you dream of Hogwarts or Walt Disney World, they've got you covered, tailoring the trips to your family's needs. Visit alonzi-travel.com/take the trip for a magical adventure. My brain started drifting somewhere else, and I lost where I was.
Take the trip.
Okay. alonzi-travel.com/take the trip. It's in the show notes. It's a clickable link. Don't even worry about what I said. Just click the link. So before, I know, sorry, it's Monday. It's a Monday.
And we're so excited. Like that.
Yes, I was so excited. But before we can talk about any of this, we have to say what D23 is. I know I have a lot of followers that are not familiar with Disney lingo or not familiar with Disney things. They just like Disney and they're casual fans. So D23 it started out as a fan event. And it turned into the Walt Disney Company's showcase of their best and brightest ideas from film to television, theme parks to cruise lines, and of course, more shopping than anyone knows what to do with. Yeah. So it's like the Comic-Con for Disney fans. You see cosplaying, elaborate outfits, celebrities, and the star of the show, lines everywhere.
Yeah, lads.
Queues for days. So it's the place to be for any Disney Insider fan. It's also where the executives share their biggest news and surprises. Disney shareholder meeting was actually last week. They did not share any of this news because they were saving it for D23. And usually the shareholder meetings is where we'll get some insider info, but they saved it all for D23. So I have been to 3 of them. And every year it's different. I don't think it's as good as years past. So I don't regret not going.
The D23 itself, I agree with you. The announcements that came during the Horizons, yes, the announcements are great. It was on West Coast time, and especially the parks part. And I think we all struggled with watching that. There was a lot of music, which super entertaining for if you're there.
Right. Well, and new for this year, so previously this event has always been in Anaheim. There's a convention center like 5-10 minutes from Disneyland, and it's always been at that convention center. The entire event has always been at that convention center. This is the first year that these big panels, so the movie panel, the entertainment panel, the parks panel, and the legend ceremony, they are at the Honda Center, which is somewhere else. So this is a big change, and I'm glad I didn't have to experience that. But it was really late. It didn't start until 9:30 Central Time, which is 7:30 Pacific Time. That is still late.
And it went over the scheduled time, which is understandable because of the amount of information that we were given and all the music, but
yes. So we will segue to that before we do our announcements. My brain just left my body. There was something important to say and I forget. It wasn't live streamed. So what we watched, and this is pre-COVID, pre-COVID, they didn't stream stuff. So what we're watching is unofficial people streaming it on their live platforms. It was not streamed by Disney. So we got some bad video quality, but it doesn't matter. We saw everything, but there wasn't an official live stream.
There was whatever was streamed on Fortnite. I did download Fortnite and I was going to watch it like that, but then I'd heard rumors that it wasn't going to be the whole presentation. So I went with the stream that we watched together, instead of seeing what Fortnite. So Fortnite may have had the whole thing. I still haven't gotten confirmation of that.
Fortnite's over my head, so.
Oh, I have a 10-year-old boy, so he walked me through it. And that was one of the things I was going to point out is we have been, post-COVID, we have been listening to the live stream or watching it every year together as a family. AJ was out. She was like, it's late. I'm going to bed. I'm out of here.
Yeah, because previously they weren't that late because they were in the convention center. They didn't have it somewhere else. So yeah, some changes this year. Not important to people who just want news, but changes for, us nerds. And to Katie's point, I was annoyed with the amount of musical numbers that were completely unnecessary and not good.
I have wondered if it was the audio, like acoustics of the center that they were using, or if it was the quality of that live stream that we had to just find.
Because so many people were not good.
Yes, I like Pentatonics and Megan Trainor. I did not think they sounded great. And I don't know.
Pentatonics was the worst one, and they're known for acoustic. So I kept saying the same thing. Like it has to be the way the sound is coming through the phone because there's no way these professional groups that perform all the time sound this bad.
And is the Honda Center like a basketball arena or something like that? Is it something?
I think it is.
I think that's what it was. I think it was the acoustics. Yeah.
Then we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But either way, like for those of you who didn't watch, because why do you need to? Because you're going to listen to us and you're going to get all the information you need. There was a musical number basically between every announcement. And like Katie said, this went at least 30 minutes over, and it would not have been over at all if you just scrapped the musical numbers.
I mean, there was a little bit of it is building my intensity, and like I'm not gonna lie, there were screams at some announcements in my household. Probably not yours because you're more put together and proper than I am, but like
there was a lot of snaps. I was doing my snaps.
You were being legally blonde over there with your snaps.
Yes, I'm over here like, especially with what we're gonna talk about on my shirt. I'm like, yeah.
This was me the whole time. And like my husband and my son would start talking because they would ask a question, like when they asked about the Marvel Hotel, and everything. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, stop talking. Like, this is the most important night of the year for me.
My husband wasn't home. So luckily I could focus. My dogs would get upset. My dogs get overexcited when I get overexcited. So I also that's why it's a lot of snaps. So they don't like lose their minds. But enough with the foreplay. Let's talk about the announcements. Let's talk about them. I'm going to talk, we're going to go by every Disney destination. Aulani, no updates. Which I'm kind of surprised because Aulani could use some updates. But it makes sense as we move forward. So, Katie, do you want to tell us our Disney cruise updates?
4 more ships coming by 2031. So
my jaw hit the ground.
13 ships 13. Total.
13. My jaw hit the ground.
I think that was my first scream. Like, I think that was the first time that I was like, oh my gosh. because
there was no hint at this. No hint at all, and we've got 3 ships on the horizon right now. So the Treasure is going to start sailing this year. The Destiny is going to start sailing next year. And the Adventure is going to start sailing next year. In addition to those, we're getting 4 more. So we're in agreement on this, right? That we think Galveston's going to be a year-round port.
I think Galveston will be a year-round port. I'm hoping that the Upper East Coast gets there because there used to be a ship that left from that area. I believe New York, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. And it's gone. And that was a market I think that was really upset when they lost their ship, and the California ship also. That wasn't.
It's gonna open up so much.
Yes. And a lot of times one of the biggest problems. Like I'm probably, you and I both have this with our clientele because we're actually 4 hours away from each other. And our home port is Galveston. And so I have families reach out to me and they're like, Katie, we really, really want to go on a Disney cruise. And I'm like, well, if you want to go in the summer, we're going to have to go to Florida. And it's just, it makes it more difficult when you have to travel so far to get to a ship. So this is amazing news. Like,
well, and Disney has recognized, I know this doesn't matter to our listeners so much, but Disney's recognized that Texas is a big market, Texas and Louisiana. So, them doing the 5-year deal with the Galveston port was a big deal. And now, so that's all we got for Disney Cruise Line, which is fine. And that makes sense because they just did the big announcements for the Destiny. So it totally makes sense that that's all we got for Disney Cruise Line. And also you'll see why that was all we got for Disney Cruise Line. I'll talk the international parks because I know them a little bit better, and I'll let you do Disneyland. Okay. So Shanghai and Hong Kong, Asian parks really don't get a lot of updates because they are operated a little bit differently. They're technically franchises. So we just really don't see as much developmental stuff announced as, for those parks, which is totally fine. So Shanghai and Hong Kong, they're getting a Spider-Man themed attraction. I'm over Spider-Man. Like when they said it was Spider-Man, I'm like, are you kidding me? That's going to be like the 4th Spider-Man. I'm over Spider-Man.
I'm here for it. We love Spider-Man.
Yeah, and whatever. It's a lot of. But
you also have to think this isn't our market. This is the Asian market, the international market, and they need some Spider-Man too.
I don't feel like. Well, I'm wrong, but I don't feel like Spider-Man is their superhero. But obviously, it has to be if they're putting an attraction. So. That's all we got for Shanghai and Hong Kong. They are getting a Spider-Man themed attraction. Shanghai already opened their Zootopia area. So that was their big developmental thing. And then Tokyo, no updates, but they also just opened Fantasy Springs, which was their biggest undertaking since Disney Sea, which is chef's kiss. So nothing for Tokyo, but they just finished a gigantic expansion. So that makes sense.
I think they said they're getting a new nighttime show, but
they already announced that. That was already announced.
I didn't know. Tokyo has the best shows. Like if we could get some of Tokyo level shows over here, that would be amazing.
Well, I'm tuned into Tokyo because I'm getting ready and I'm also obsessed with it and I have clients going. So, but that was previously announced. So that wasn't new news to me. So I just ignored that one. Disneyland Paris, as we all know, is my favorite current international park. We already knew that they're building on the world of Frozen, but they announced the opening date is going to be 2026. Very exciting. This is also the beginning of a brand new expansion for Disney Adventure World, formerly Walt Disney Studios Park. I love this new name. It's so exciting. And it just makes it, because like Hollywood Studios, California Adventure, like it kind of pigeonholes those parks into a specific thing. But Disney Adventure World, then you can have what we're about to talk about, and it doesn't matter because it's Disney Adventure World.
Do anything. You can do anything. You're not stuck to movie
Yes. So Disney Adventure World currently has their Avengers campus. They have a Remy area, they have a Toy Story area, and the Frozen is going to be opening soon. So like the park name just totally makes sense. I'm so excited. We are getting an entire land dedicated to the Lion King. Listeners, our faces are in shookest mode.
This is overdue. This was overdue.
Right? Like we're all doing the newer IPs, which is all fine and good, but Lion King is a freaking classic. Everybody loves the Lion King. I'm psyched about this. Not only is it going to have a new attraction, it's also going to have shopping, dining, and confirmed character meet and greet opportunities.
Do you think I will be able to eat some kind of squishy confectionery bug?
Yes. Also keep in mind, Disneyland Paris is not known for their food. So like, let's not get super hyped that this food is going to be amazing. Let's be more hyped because they currently have a show called Rhythm of the Pride Lands. And it's one of the best shows, unsung hero of Disney entertainment. That's currently at Disneyland Paris. So I'm psyched about this. The renderings make it look like you go underground. I don't know what's happening with it. It's going to be super cool. So I can't wait. And because of this expansion, they're also building a lake in Disney Adventure World. and it's going to have a brand new water light drone show.
Ooh, love a drone show.
Does drones, man. They do drones correctly.
They do. They do.
So we don't have dates for these things, but these are the announcements. And honestly, psyched. And I love, so Disneyland Paris, I mentioned the Asian parks are franchises. So Disneyland Paris was recently, in the last like 5 or 6 years, well, the Disney company now has an owner majority stake in Disneyland Paris. And that's why we're seeing all these amazing updates to this park. Excited.
I'm excited. You know, kind of like my timeline for getting us to the international parks was we were going to do Tokyo first, and then we were going to do Paris. We may be swapping them. We might, yeah.
Well, and so, like, this is not new news, but at Tokyo, they're completely closing down their Space Mountain, and they're making an entirely brand new Space Mountain, and that's not going to open until I think 2026 or 2027. So, I would, maybe flip flop them, because if you're going to go all the way to Asia, you might as well see the brand new Space Mountain.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to get flopped. And my husband, like I said, he did not know there was a Marvel hotel at Disneyland Paris. And so when he was like, there's a Marvel hotel, he's intrigued. And that's all I need is that little bit of intrigue to get him on board.
Yeah, well, we'll be there in September. So, I'll have all the details on that. We got some decent updates from Disneyland, California. Tell us.
Okay. So they're kind of, you said they're in order, right? No.
I mean, no, they're in order from the parks, but I kind of did put them in because the one I put last, I feel like is the biggest.
Okay.
Biggest.
So, there will be a new Mandalorian scene added to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and I believe that's at both Disneyland and at Walt Disney World.
It wasn't clear, but like it's a software update, I feel like, so I think it's fair to say both.
Yeah. So there's going to be a Mandalorian scene. You're going to have Baby Grogu. People are really, really hyped about this. People said that this, people
that are not me.
Her head, listeners.
People that is not me.
My little family of Star Wars fans are very hyped for this. We got an opening date finally for Tiana's Value Adventure and everything that's kind of under refurbishment in Critter Co. and everything that's shut down for November 15th of this year.
We didn't get an update on Haunted Mansion though. So
yeah.
Yes, but we did, but you're correct. All of the Disneyland stuff that's being open for Tiana's, that's like right around the corner.
It is. It is. Like if you're wanting to be one of the first people there to ride Tiana's, you should go ahead and start booking those trips right now.
Contact your favorite Alonzi travel agent to make that happen.
Yes. A brand new Coco attraction is coming to Disney California Adventure. Was that California Adventure or is it Disneyland? Okay. It looks to be a boat ride very similar to Pirates. It looks super, super cute. I think a Coco ride is going to fit very well at California Adventure.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you because you did not think it was going to fit. And I had to remind, well, was it you? No, it was my other friend. She said there's no Mexico in California Adventure. And I had to remind her the Plaza de Familia.
Yeah.
In the very back, it's not... It's kind of like San Francisco, right? Like San Francisco, it's there, but it isn't really a thing. That's kind of like Plaza de Familia. Like there is, the Mexican restaurants are back there. That's where they do the Dia de los Muertos stuff every year. So it's not like the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, but it does have a presence. And Coco it makes sense. It makes sense in California Adventure. It looks beautiful.
And Coco is a wonderful, wonderful movie. I cry every time. I cried during the Coco scene in World of Color. Like it just fits, and I think it's going to be perfect at DCA. Like I think it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
We knew that they were going to do an expansion and bring in Avatar and some version of like what we have at Animal Kingdom to Disney California Adventure. It is confirmed that that is going to be a whole new land. It is going to be themed after the Way of Water. And it is going to have one attraction so far. Is that correct? Or was it two?
No,
one.
I thought it was two, but then when I went back and looked at the announcements, it only mentioned one, which I hope they'll announce one later on, because the first one it looks like a boat ride. And ours here at Walt Disney World, we have Flight of Passage, which is the pièce de résistance. Let's just say that right now. Yeah. And Navi River Journey. This looks like Navi River Journey, but a different theme.
It would seem silly to me to do a whole land expansion, especially with the very immersive theming that it would take to make this and only put one attraction in it.
Right.
Especially when we get to what I'm about to talk about with what's happening at Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus will double in size with 2 new attractions. One we already knew about, but we didn't know what it was going to be. And then a whole brand new one that
I have to interrupt you. We did know what it was going to be. When they originally announced Avengers Campus, this was an e-ticket attraction. They have announced this ride 3 times. 3 times. And it has changed every gosh darn time. But this time, it's for real, because Josh DeMeo promised that this is all going to happen. Promised.
He said that nothing discussed here tonight is blue sky, and everything that he talked about was in active construction phase.
Yep. Continue on. I just had to get that out there because I'm annoyed about it.
Okay. Now I'm confused myself on Avengers Infinity Defense, right? Is the name of the one that we knew.
That one is going where currently, if you go to Avengers Campus and you see the ship, I forget what it's called. There's a plane. On top of the building. That building is the e-ticket attraction that they had originally planned that they never did anything with. So that's where the Avengers Infinity Defense is going to be. And tell us the second ride.
There is going to be a Stark Lab attraction, which is going to be like a flight simulator.
Yeah. What? Tell everybody what we compared it to.
Forbidden Journey.
Specifically, the Whomping Willow scene.
Yes. It did look like you're going to need to take your Dramamine before this, but I'm stoked about it because I think Forbidden Journey is an amazing ride. I don't know. It looks amazing, and I need to get to DCA as soon as possible.
And I really like that they're introducing 2 boat rides. So the Coco ride and the Pandora ride, and 2 e-ticket rides. Like, we don't know too much about the Avenger ones, but they're definitely going to be height requirement rides. So I like that they're balancing that, because California Adventure kind of was more thrill rides. So giving equal amounts of both is really exciting. Really exciting.
I agree. And then the last thing that was announced was there is going to be an addition to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And basically it's going to be 2 shows, and it is going to be a Walt Disney audio animatronic. He is going to be sitting in his office and do the show. I mean, talking about maybe making Disneyland, like they didn't really
they didn't really say, but I feel like they're going to use audio that he has said. So it would make sense that it would be him talking about Disney, and it's a history, like that theater is for history anyway, so like that would totally make sense. You're gonna bring me an audio animatronic for that is Walt Disney who created audio animatronics?
Yeah, it's incredible. And I love the fact that Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is not going away. They have a rotating stage, and you will be able to see both of them. Which
I loved that, actually, because when they said that, I was like, oh no, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Like, I don't really watch it all the time, but it is a piece of Disney history. And the fact that they respect the Disneyland fans enough to not completely get rid of it, but just make it plus. I'm so excited for this. But the biggest news is that's going to debut in 2025.
I know, which makes sense. So, because when we went in May,
it was closed.
Mr. Lincoln wasn't open. And I was like, I came all this way to see Mr. Lincoln.
Y'all, they've been working on this in super secret.
And that's what a lot of this sounds like. I think you and I had the discussion of how are they going to do all this and how are they going to pull all this off in the timeline that they have given. And it's because a lot of it has been going on behind the scenes for a long time and we had no clue. Especially when we get to the Walt Disney World stuff. Like, what? What?
Okay, well let's do a back and forth because there's a lot here. So Walt Disney World got the most updates, which I'm shocked because Walt Disney World has had the most happen to it lately.
I'm not.
I mean, look, they've had what did they the stuff at Hollywood Studios just finished.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they just did at Epcot finished. Tron just finished. Like there's been a lot, but now that we're done being political over in Florida, we can really get to work. And a lot of this, I'm going to just say it, is reactive to Universal Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. Universal is opening a brand new theme park in 2025 called Epic Universe. They are going to have a monsters area, a dark universe area. I'm just saying, they announced it. Technically, they didn't announce it first. Technically, Disney did throughout the Blue Sky phase of villains several years ago. However, Universal confirmed it first, and they're opening in 2025. So a lot of this feels very reactive, and like they have to keep up with Universal, which good. Get that competition so we keep getting good things at Walt Disney World.
They needed that feet to the fire, I feel like. I think that there was a lot of, there was, the panini and we had all this stuff happen, but no, like, let's come on. You've got record park admission. You've got all this stuff. Like, we're rolling. Give us more. Give us more.
So first, and this one I literally was screaming for, a brand new nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom. Thank you. Well, Disney Starlight will debut in 2025.
Yes.
It looks like it's going to be Paint the Night on steroids. I loved Paint the Night. Paint the Night came from Japan to Disneyland for a hot minute, and I was lucky enough to be there when it was there, and I was obsessed with it. This looks like a version of that. And I saw some memes. They're like, thank God it wasn't them announcing that the Main Street Electrical Parade was being revived for the 20th time. I'm like, yes. So we're getting a confirmed brand new, and it's going to come next year.
I am stoked about this. We are not nighttime park people, but I will stay late for this. I will stay until it's dark to watch this parade. I am so excited about this.
And I'm really happy that it wasn't that they're doing a new nighttime show, because we just got back Happily Ever After. They had a crash and burn with, I don't even remember the name. It was so bad. Don't mess with, let us have Happily Ever After for like 10 years. Just leave it alone. Be quiet. I will take the new parade though. So happy about that. Also, go ahead.
I did want a new daytime parade though. I will tell you, I'm a little tired of Festival of Fantasy.
Fair. I would just settle for having Festival of Fantasy back to 2019 version.
Also, yeah.
It's missing like a good quarter of the performers and parade floats. So I'll give me that version of Festival of Fantasy back, and I'll be quiet about it. But I will justice for Festival of Fantasy. Anyways.
Agree.
I'll take the next one because I know you want to. I think you'll talk about the third one really well. So Test Track, we already know Test Track has already been closed. It is going through a major rehaul, which it desperately needed, and it's going to reopen in 2025. So the big announcement for Test Track was just that we have an opening date, which I really feel like this was not really news, but they just needed to throw it in there. So Test Track 2025.
Yeah, I'm not Test Track early. Are you Test Track early?
No,
yeah.
I was when it was the original concept, when it was like taking you through test vehicle stuff. And I thought that was cool. But this new version that they have now, I have never liked it, especially for the wait times.
Yeah. No. And which is so crazy because I love Radiator Springs Racer. It's the same ride, but theming matters.
It's
not. Theming matters.
Yeah. So tell us about the next thing.
Okay, so 2 new lounges were announced for Walt Disney World. The first one's going to be in Epcot, and it's going to be a Spaceship Earth. I think it's located kind of close to Spaceship Earth, but we don't know, but we're not going to say.
No, so it's Spaceship Earth themed. I think it's going to go in the Communicore Hall.
Something needs to go there.
Well, based on the only reason I say that is based on the renderings, there is floor to ceiling windows where you can see the nighttime show. And there's really not a place for that with all the new vegetation that they added. So, and not everyone in our group has paid attention to Disney news as long as I have. So the Communicore Hall previously was supposed to have a second story. And on the second story, it was going to have a garden and an outdoor area and all these things. So that's where I think it's going to go based on the artist renderings and based on previously announced things that they were doing over there. We don't know. This is just artist renderings.
So have a cocktail. Look at, okay.
And then watch, they're going to turn that into a fireworks viewing party. Watch. Just like at Magic Kingdom, which I wouldn't mind if I would pay for that actually.
Well, and because one of the reasons, like, I don't think the fireworks viewing party at Magic Kingdom is in the greatest of locations. So
my point. Yeah. But this is speculative. Whoops. This is speculative. We're not doing. Sorry. We can go down the rabbit hole all day with this. You guys, we love Disney so much. So that was my fault. I claim that one.
And in Magic Kingdom, there is going to be a pirate theme tavern lounge opening. And
you were just asking about this, weren't you? Like 2 weeks ago.
Was. So because, not to get back into speculation, but I thought Tortuga Tavern was going to be turned into this lounge. And like 2-3 weeks ago, Tortuga Tavern was turned into another merch location. We don't need a merch location. Pirates has a huge, amazing store, one of my favorite stores in all of Walt Disney World when you exit the rides. I'm like, why? Why are we getting another merch?
To be fair, a merch location is easy to close.
Yes. And so that is, but this is going to be very interesting because right now at at Magic Kingdom, you can only have alcoholic beverages if you are at a table service restaurant, a sit down restaurant. It's the only park that you cannot walk around with a beverage in your hand. You cannot walk up to a window, a kiosk, or a lounge and order anything. So this is kind of big, major news, and it's themed to pirates. I'm not much of a drinker, but I am a pirate, and I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense to go there because that place is called Tortuga's Tavern. But it'll be interesting because Disneyland has Oga's Cantina, and you can order drinks in Oga's Cantina. So this may be one of those one-off exceptions as well, but only time will tell. I'll take the next two because I know the two after that are ones that you are very excited about. I'm actually very excited about this because I hate Donnerland. I think it's the biggest waste of space in the park. We confirmed. So this was a Blue Sky phase that was announced, but it was a little bit different when it was announced in Blue Sky. So it is confirmed that Tropical Americas is going to be replacing Dinoland with construction to be completed by 2027, with elements beginning construction as early as 2025. So this opening as early as 2025. Indiana Jones is confirmed to be taking over the dinosaur ride, but it's going to be different than the dinosaur at Disneyland. So fun fact, for those of you who didn't know this, I tell everybody because it's my favorite fun fact, Indiana Jones and dinosaur are the exact same ride track, but they are vastly different ride experiences. Katie can attest to this because she just rode Indiana Jones recently. Indiana Jones is superior.
It is. And we have a love for dinosaur as a family. Like, a lot of people don't like it, but that's one of the ones that we do enjoy. But I don't understand how Indiana Jones, it's some kind of magic that makes it better because it's the same ride vehicle. It is the same basic concept, but for some reason, it's just different. So much better. So much better than Dinosaur.
Yes.
Now, I am sad about Dinosaur. I will maybe go ride Dinosaur one more time. I don't know.
Well, they haven't announced when it's going to close. So they did say they're going to give fans some time to ride it. So you probably will have some time. But this is really exciting. And they've confirmed that it's going to be different. It's going to be a brand new story for Indiana Jones. So that is really exciting. And then we also are going to have new elements coming to not Dinoland, Tropical Americas. I'm going to have to Tropical Americas. The one that I don't care about at all is a wood carved carousel.
Let me stop you right there. When Dinoland USA goes away, also the Boneyard goes away. And the Boneyard is very much beloved by Disney parents because it gave you a place to let your kid just kind of roam. I think there should be more playgrounds in the Disney parks because it's a great way for the parents to rest. The kids can get their wiggles out or whatever they need. And I kind of see the carousel. Like, I don't hate the carousel.
I don't hate the carousel. I won't get on it. And I just, but it'll be an improvement for Dinoland. I'll make my comment to your parent thing in just a second. And they're also going to get a quick service restaurant. So it just sounds like the Restaurantosaurus is going to be plussed. Mm-hmm. It will be cool if it's not like South American food.
Yes.
Brazil specifically has some amazing food that we get at the Food and Wine Festival. So I'm excited for this. I mean, Animal Kingdom is known for great food. We're also getting an Encanto area, which is going to have a brand new attraction. So we're losing attractions, but we're going to get an attraction that takes you through Casita on the day that Antonio gets his gift. This looks like it might be a pirate style boat ride, unconfirmed, but you can also interact with Casita. So I'm thinking maybe, speculation, there might be some play areas for kids. Because if you can interact with Casita.
Like almost maybe like the Dumbo line where, that would be nice.
So to your point about, the dig site, kids can just go play there. They may be replacing it or, plussing it up because Casita is an interactive house. So we may have some possibilities there, which is exciting.
I can't even imagine how awesome the queue will be when you're walking through interactive Casita.
That will be, I'm excited. And even if it is a boat ride, I don't care. I think it'll be really cool. Just because they didn't really have any pictures. They had concepts, but no pictures. Yeah.
If you take, I know you haven't run Tiana's yet, but Tiana's has a lot of great animal audio animatronics. If you take all of that and you put it into this, ride through Casita I think it can be done very, very well. And I think it'll be enjoyable.
Yeah. Yes. They also confirmed that Zootopia, so this was Blue Sky, it is now confirmed that Zootopia is replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug, and we can all sigh a collective sigh of relief that trauma, It's Tough to Be a Bug, is leaving the parks.
No.
What do you mean?
We love It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Ick.
I am okay with it going away.
Ick.
I love the fact that we are bringing in newer movies because my children don't know A Bug's Life. You know what I'm saying? Like my husband and I do, and they know A Bug's Life only from It's Tough to Be a Bug. I think
Zootopia belongs in Animal Kingdom, and I hope this is just a gateway drug for more Zootopia and Animal Kingdom. Yes. Honestly.
Yes, I would love to see some Zootopia meet and greets. I like so much we can do with Zootopia.
So they better have those popsicles, like literally. So I think Animal Kingdom is the biggest in need because they haven't had anything since Pandora, and Dinoland has been on the chopping block since it was debuted. Okay. So the changes they're making here, I'm excited. I will say, as a Run Disney Marathon runner, I am very concerned about the route because when you enter Animal Kingdom. So this is specifically for the marathon. I think they only do a half marathon through it, but for the marathon, you enter in through where the train station is for conservation station. And then you go past Expedition Everest, but you exit through Dinoland.
Oh.
So if this is under construction, it may actually be great because you don't go by the Tree of Life during the marathon. You go behind. You go through the back, but you don't really go by the front. So there's no PhotoPass pictures of you going by the Tree of Life. So maybe they'll change the course so you exit through the front, which would be nice. But then there's that elevation dip. This is strictly a Run Disney thing. You've made videos about how horrible that stupid hill is. But so we'll see. But that is going to impact, a lot of this construction is going to impact Run Disney the marathon specifically, because the marathon is the only one that goes through all 4 parks. So I'll be interested as a runner to see what happens. But I'm having you do 2 huge shocking. This was like
shocking.
These next 3 announcements were the shocks of the night.
This one right here, this is the one that I was not expecting whatsoever. There is a whole new land coming to Hollywood Studios, much needed, and it's going to be themed to Monsters, Inc. We are going to get a suspension roller coaster that is themed from the doors on the conveyor belts from Monsters, Inc. Oh my gosh.
Everybody has always said, why don't they do a ride like this? Yes. And Disney said, okay, bet.
Okay. We got you. It's going to be a whole land. There is going to be areas. I zoomed in really close on the concept art and I saw a slide. So I
put that in the notes. I put that in the
notes. I'm not even reading the notes. I'm going off my memory here. But yeah.
Yeah, I said so it's going to feature play area dining.
Meet and greets.
Somebody, I just watched a TikTok and somebody zoomed into the concept art and saw the logo for the sushi restaurant.
Harryhausen's. I was going to bring that up too because I saw it too. And I sent it to you.
Wait, did you send it to me?
Oh, I sent it to you and Charles because I thought y'all would care the most, like I would. If we can have a sit-down sushi dining themed to Harryhausen in Hollywood Studios, fantastic.
I mean, Hollywood Studios needs more sit-down locations. So
it does. You know, it's a hot park. It's a long park. It's really a park that you should take a break in.
And the concept art did look like they added a lot of vegetation, which, as Katie just said, it's the worst park for shade. So anytime we can add vegetation is great. Speculative. This is either going to go in Muppets or Animation Courtyard. I think it's going to be Animation Courtyard. There's more space. It's also by the existing Pixar stuff. It would make way more sense. And there's a lot of empty, unused space over there.
That is my theory as well, that is where it's going to go. I would hope that they would move the Star Wars launch base stuff and move all that closer to Galaxy's Edge. And I think it just fits really well over there. And I also
launch bay is just a character meet and greet. If they just start having those characters roaming instead of a stationary spot, then it's still fine.
Well, you're showing that you're not a Star Wars nerd because you can't have those two roaming with the current storyline that Disney is pushing for Galaxy.
Oh, right, because it's Darth Vader, right?
It's Darth Vader and Chewbacca, which are 2 of the greatest meet and greets. I picked up my pencil because I'm passionate about this.
Well, they could do what they used to do and have those meet and greets where the Jedi Academy was, which is by Star Tours.
That's fine. We could even expand Galaxy's Edge, put more Star Wars in and just have Muppets in the middle of it.
No, veto. So, but yeah, I think that makes the most sense. We have not gotten a confirmation on location. The only location confirmation we've gotten is the one that you're going to talk about next. But everybody was shocked by this announcement. No one saw this one coming. But honestly, Hollywood Studios, granted, it just went through a huge renovation between Star Wars and Toy Story. It does need more stuff. That is a constant complaint between at least everybody in our agency. I don't do Hollywood Studios because there's not enough stuff. We need more stuff at Hollywood Studios. This is huge.
And the thing about Hollywood Studios, everything there is great. They are really good attractions for the most part. There's not a lot of filler and fluff and, having this
new area that I'm like, that's a fluff. Alien swirling saucers. I'll just say it.
Oh, well, yeah, alien swirling saucers, but that is a filler attraction.
Yeah, but
to have another space that can pull those crowds out of Toy Story Land is much needed and should have happened before now.
Psyched about this, but I think your next one. Well, because I don't love monsters, but I do have a nephew. Your next one.
So they are bringing Cars to Frontierland. And when this was announced, there's going to be 2 Cars attractions in Magic Kingdom.
Brand new attraction.
Brand new attractions. It's not going to just be a copy and paste of Radiator Springs Racers. This was the one that I go, because I'm not a Cars girly. That's not a thing that my son was ever into. And I was like, it's not going to fit. That was my first concern. But the only location that has been confirmed by Disney was this. This morning, they released that it is going to replace Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America. And I think that this done properly, it's going to work. I am sad about the Rivers of America. Not so much Tom Sawyer Island. We never went over there.
No,
it was not a thing,
This is going to be a superior use of space. So I will say, I do follow this one account on Instagram. She is the biggest, her job is a researcher. So she was pulling the images and matching them to areas in the United States. So Big Thunder Mountain is based on Monument Valley, which is an existing place in Arizona. If they just extended it, you've got like Bryce Canyon and Zion and all this stuff where you can make mountains, where you put mountains between Haunted Mansion and the existing Frontierland. And okay, so Frontierland doesn't have cars, but the West does. The West has Route 66.
Yes.
So once you look at it from that perspective, it makes more sense than Tiana's in Frontierland. New Orleans, 1920s New Orleans.
We talked about this after D23 last year, because there was nothing but blue sky last year for D23. Nothing was concrete. And I told you, I think that they're going to retheme part of Frontierland and make a little like New Orleans Square. And you said they won't. And I said, yeah. And I think they're going to make Pecos Gianna's restaurant. And you were so upset because you love Pecos Bill so much.
And I'm still correct, though. Am I not?
I was wrong with my blue sky in my head. But I just really, I'm a Louisiana girl. Like, I wanted those New Orleans vibes. And I still think that Tiana doesn't make sense right there. But, we're going to go with
I agree. But now with the, the fact that we're talking about the America's West. America's West does still exist. Route 66 does exist. And I can see it. I can see it. It doesn't, I like the separation, though, because if it was like right by Big Thunder Mountain, then you've got two technical time periods that are too close to each other.
Well, and with the Rivers of America going away, Tiana's really doesn't make sense, because the Rivers of America was like, that was what was supposed to tie it together. And now
Tiana's isn't going anywhere.
No, it's not. And nor should it, because it is amazing. You know how I feel about Tiana's. So.
Yeah, but so it's going to be 2 rides. You already said one is going to be a thrilling race. So I'm going to say it's going to be similar to Radiator Springs Racers. And the second one is going to be a family-friendly attraction. There are 2 family-friendly attractions currently at Cars Land and California Adventure. So one of them, I'm looking, like they're both kind of the same. Luigi's and Mater's are similar, aren't they?
They are very, very similar. But I would feel like if they're going to just copy and paste something, the Tomaters.
Because they talked about Mater a couple
saucers.
Times. Yeah, the junkyard.
Yeah, Junkyard Jamboree. That's what it is. There's not an Alien Twirling Saucers type ride at Magic Kingdom. Like, I think it was
Teacups.
Teacups and Alien Twirling Saucers are very different. With the,
are they though?
It whips you. Teacups, you just go around. Yeah, they're different.
Okay,
they're different.
Clearly, I haven't done one of those attractions.
I just did both of them at the beginning of July, and they are different.
So we are obviously excited about this because it brings more boy IP to Magic Kingdom. And that's a huge complaint with my clients is, I say complaint. It's like, there's nothing for my boys to do at Magic Kingdom. Well, now there for sure is even more.
Which I would have argued with them anyway, that Adventureland, the best part of the park.
Frontierland,
like there was always
Square,
stuff.
Tomorrowland. Anyway, the last this is a surprise, the fact that it was confirmed, because when this was in Blue Skies, everybody was like, this is amazing, but they're never going to do it. Disney confirmed that we are getting a Villains Land at Magic Kingdom, making this the biggest expansion in Magic Kingdom's history. So excited. Now, we aren't even going to speculate because there's so many places that this could actually go. There is the best thing about that Walt Disney World is they do have a ton of space. So at Disneyland, you are locked. Like there's not really much places you can go. Walt Disney World has a lot of space, and Magic Kingdom specifically also has a lot of space. So there's tons of places it can go. They did say beyond Thunder Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain. All right, be more vague. So we don't know where it's going, but luckily it is the back of the park. So it's going to be behind existing stuff. So you're not going to be seeing, this is what I'm most excited about. You're not going to be seeing all these construction walls because it's going to be happening where stuff doesn't already exist.
Oh, yeah.
But there is going to be an attraction, 2 brand new attractions. Sorry, 2. There's going to be dining and shopping, and one of the attractions, it looks like it happens underground. From the concept art, there's waterfalls, and you can see like a roller coaster-ish ride going behind those waterfalls. So an e-ticket attraction is going to come. So as with all these other announcements, there's an e-ticket, and then there's a family-friendly version. So we're going to get 2. If there's not roaming villains, I'm going to strike.
There will have to be character meet and greets in the new Villains Land.
Can you just imagine Mickey's Not So Scary with this open?
We would need the villain walk through like Oogie Boogie has. Like that is what I would need in my life if, that has to happen. Like, let me write Josh tomorrow and be like, this is our demands. Like, you already gave us so much, but we demand this.
We demand. So no location has been announced and no date has been announced. However, the fact that this was confirmed and said this is going to happen, biggest expansion, because I was there when they announced New Fantasyland. I was at D23 when they announced that, and that was a big deal. So this is so exciting, and I very much appreciate that a lot of this is response to fans. Monsters Inc. is a huge fan favorite. Cars is a huge fan favorite. And I hate to tell you, there's a reason I'm wearing a villain shirt today. Villains are huge fan favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Explain it to me. I don't even know. But villains, if you have a villain meet and greet, they're going to have the longest wait times. If you have a villain themed Run Disney race, it's going to have an immediate sellout. Anything with the villains is so incredibly popular. I'm thrilled with this. How do you feel?
Oh, I am over the moon. When it looked like it was ending, like D23 was ending, when it looked like Josh Tomorrow was doing his closing remarks, I looked at my husband and I said, so once again, no villains. And then when the magic mirror, if y'all have not watched this clip, go watch it because it was so wonderfully done. The magic mirror came up on the screen behind him and just basically called him off, called him out, said, you have promised a promise you have not fulfilled. I lost it. I fell on the floor. I screamed, incredible. I cannot wait.
It was so good. I don't care that we don't have an opening date for this. I'm just so excited that it is confirmed.
I feel like he said at one point during the night that everything that was talked about will be done by 2030. Everything will roll out within the next 5 years.
Because he said so many things, and then the lag time and everything. So even if it's 2030, that's only 5 years away.
I think I would prefer, and we talked about this a little bit, I would prefer a 2030 opening date on something as big and important as this Villains Land, because I want them to do it correctly. I don't want them to throw something up and be like, here you go, we did it for you. I think when you're talking Hollywood Studios and we're just going to retheme an area, they could probably get that done by 2027. They could probably a 3-year rollout, but I would want time and just to really, really do the villains right, because this is what we have all wanted for so long.
Well, and I made this comment to you, a lot of criticism on Disney Imagineering in the past several years has been, it is apparent that they have cut costs, cut corners, and not done things justice. Let's just talk about Communicore Hall. How horrible that looks based on the concept art, and just they have not been doing their job the way that they should. So what I'm hoping is all the press that they've put into this, all the comments Josh D'Amaro has made, and he's in charge of this now. He wasn't previously, he is now. We are going to pay our cast members wages that they deserve, give them the space to make these creative decisions and implement these creative decisions, because I'm so salty about Communicore Hall. I'm so salty about a couple other blue sky phases that we're going to talk about. But Disney needs to step it up. And I feel like with these announcements they have, they just need to follow through with them, because this has the potential to be amazing. It also has the potential to be a big letdown.
Yeah.
So I'm going to err on the optimistic side, even though I'm wearing my Maleficent ears and my Oogie Boogie Bash shirt, that they're going to do 75% justice. It's never going to be like the concept art. It never is. But if we can get as close as possible, because the Casita has so much potential. Do not let us down with Casita. Absolutely do not.
Agreed. Also with the Monsters roller coaster, like you showed me a photo of me riding that conveyor belt. I'm going to ride that conveyor belt like a door. Like that sounds so silly as an adult to say this out loud. But, you know, like these are, like Disney likes to say, these are the stories and these are the things that we have grown up with and we want to experience them. When you go to Disney, you want to suspend reality. Like this isn't real. This doesn't exist. Kind of like when you walk into Pandora or Galaxy's Edge, you have that feeling of this is not a real place. Like this, you know, how am I here right now? That is what I want to see when we talk about Villains Land.
Like, well, and I think that's some of our feedback with why we don't love Universal as much, because Disney really does transport you and makes you feel like you're there, and their rides are so unique. And Universal, while some of their rides are very unique and very immersive, like the Harry Potter stuff, you are transported for sure. But other parts of the park, you're just like, oh, I'm just at an amusement park and I've got 40 screens in front of my face. So Disney needs to continue being the leader, the innovator in this space, and the Villains Land is their opportunity to continue to push that envelope, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, it should be their answer back to like how immersive the Wizarding World is. Like all of this, you know, especially with, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't excited for Epic Universe all that much. Like, I mean, I'm excited, like something new, but I wasn't like going crazy about it until they released the stuff that 2 weeks ago that we got the things about the Ministry of Magic and the videos and all that stuff.
When the leaked dragon flying testing.
Yeah, there's a dragon, guys. There's a dragon. And so I started getting very excited for Epic Universe in a way that I was not, because I really feel if Universal has taken what they have learned with Harry Potter, especially Diagon Alley, because it's superior to Hogsmeade Village, and they are putting that into every area of Epic Universe is going to be something like we've never seen before. So Disney is going to have
Disney has to step it up, and I feel like this is their answer to that, and they have to. Now we're super excited. Obviously, I hope you guys are too. So definitely put in the comments in the chat what you're most excited to see, because we would both love to hear it. Before we go though, we got to talk about updates we didn't get. What did you say?
One caveat, I've already had people in my messages asking when they should book a trip to experience all of this. It's not the time to talk about that.
No.
It is time to book a trip to experience Disney as it is now. Like, don't put off your trip waiting for all of this. You need to go now. Like, you need to go in 2025.
I love what you just said. Don't put off your trip, because let me just tell you, the thing about Disney is they are always going to be innovating and changing. You could probably tell from our conversations, you know, Tron is new, Fantasyland is new, or New Fantasyland is new. There's things in these parks that every couple years there's going to be new stuff. So if you just keep waiting for it to be done, you will never go.
Yeah, never.
So don't wait. It's never, right now is going to be the cheapest it's going to be. And I will admit it is not cheap, but it is just going to keep getting more expensive. So if you want to go, you need to contact one of our agents now. There are some great promotions going on, so definitely talk to us to take advantage of those. But I want to mention the updates that we didn't get.
Okay.
As I've said, I've been following D23 for a very, very, very long time. A couple blue sky phases that I am sad about. Number one, Coco and Encanto were supposed to come to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
which
that what was supposed to, like they said, this is behind Big Thunder Mountain, or they hinted.
Yes, they said that was coming to Big Thunder Mountain. Coco looks like it's totally scrapped, which that's fine. It would belong in Epcot if it went anywhere. But Encanto is at Animal Kingdom, which makes more sense, especially with the theming of Indiana Jones, calling it Tropical Americas. It makes more sense in Animal Kingdom, and especially with the ride being Antonio with the animals, like it totally makes sense. I'm glad we're getting something in Encanto because that franchise is stellar. Yeah. They also said Zootopia or Moana was replacing Dinoland.
Yeah.
And so what they had said was it was going to be Dinoland, or replace Dinoland with Zootopia, and then behind it was going to be the Indiana Jones stuff. So it was going to be like this really, really big expansion. So that has totally been scrapped, which is such a bummer because Zootopia belongs as a bigger staple in Animal Kingdom. Because Animal Kingdom, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the logo for Animal Kingdom. There is a dragon and a unicorn on it.
It was the majestic, not majestic, Beastly Kingdom. I was trying to say like Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But because that was supposed to be part of the park and it was totally scrapped. So like Zootopia is, it totally fits. So like I will take the little tiny thing we're going to get. Hopefully this is a gateway drug because I need more Zootopia. I'm obsessed with Zootopia. And then two of the biggest RIPs. The retheming of Spaceship Earth, which it does desperately need.
It needs something.
And Cherry Tree Lane with the Mary Poppins ride.
Mary Poppins, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And, they just stopped talking about the Mary Poppins thing. Like, it's like it never existed.
Both of them, they did not. Because when they started talking about Spaceship Earth, I was like, oh, we're going to get a confirmation that they're going to redo Spaceship Earth. It needs it. No, we're getting a lounge, which, all right. We don't need one more place to drink in Epcot.
No, there's plenty. There's plenty. If you like to drink, that's the place to be.
Yeah. We don't need one more place to drink, but having a Mary Poppins ride, there's so much empty space in England, in the England pavilion. Like,
I've always said we need more rides, in World Showcase. Like, as a parent, I love World Showcase. I love to just wander, but I have to have something for those kids to do. And right now, we've got three rides: Remy's, Frozen, and
technically, you've got Canada Vision, you've got Remy's, you've got Beauty and the Beast sing along.
No. I said China. Rides. I said rides. These children want rides. They don't want.
Well, I'm just telling you, there is an attraction in almost every single country.
Yes, there's an attraction in every single country, and every now and again I can get them in to sit down and watch, a show, but we need more. Like, why don't we
like Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios needs more attractions. So does Walt Disney World. Epcot. Epcot. Yeah. But we have gotten more attractions at Epcot. We got two new ones recently, Guardians of the Galaxy and Remy's.
Which are both fantastic.
Which are both fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
But so finding a space
on roller coaster.
But finding the space is hard though. So that's why Cherry Tree Lane made the most sense, because England is like the only one that has a ton of space and it fits thematically and it would just have been perfect. But hopefully they'll revisit that because obviously they already have the plans. So maybe, once they get the Hollywood Studios stuff underway and then the Magic Kingdom stuff underway. But Epcot did just go through a major transformation. So I don't see Epcot getting anything for at least 5 years.
I commented on someone's TikTok where they were like, one of those funny sounds about, look what I got. Look what I got. I got a rock, Charlie Brown sound. And I was like, Epcot literally just got everything. Everything for several years was Epcot, Remy's, Guardians, all the construction, everything. Like, it was time for everybody else to get to play.
Yeah. And to be fair, Epcot did sorely need it. It did need all those updates. Yes, and now it has a lot of updates and it still could use some more, but it did get a really beautiful rehaul. So it can sit on the back. I'm an Epcot girly And I'm okay with it sitting on the back burner because I'm so tired of walls at Epcot. Like, I don't want to see another wall for at least 2 years in Epcot.
Same.
That's another reason I'm excited about Magic Kingdom, because where they're going to put the Magic Kingdom stuff, there's going to be walls, but it's not going to be really stopping your movement through the park.
No, it's not at all. Like, I mean, whoop, and you won't even see it. Oh, I mean, you'll see the walls, especially Rivers of America area, but it's not going to keep you from going from one way to another, because you could never really walk from Haunted Mansion to Big Thunder anyway. You know, you had to walk around the Rivers of America. So
there's no straight shot. You had to walk around it. So like, great, put up some walls that don't affect how I walk around the park. Same with Hollywood Studios. Like, if they're going to put what Monsters Inc. where we think it's going to go, it's not going to affect our walking path. Epcot was vastly affected.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And like, every time I went, the walls were in different spots.
Yes.
So like, I would think, I'm like,
I can't go here. One time I tried to go my shortcut going, that walkway from World Showcase that cuts close to the Imagination Pavilion.
Yes.
And they had closed that. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why is this closed?
Like, well, that's where I go every time. Like, because, I normally stay at a Skyliner resort. So like, if I'm going to the front of the park, like,
Yeah. So Epcot not having anything, we've made peace with it. We're totally fine with it. But I do hope they revisit at least the Mary Poppins and the Spaceship Earth 3 thing. Both of those need to be revisited. Maybe just at the next D23, which will be in 2 years. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But overall, the fact that all of this stuff is confirmed, that is, Disney heard our feedback. Our feedback collectively as a fan base was, I don't care about Blue Sky Phase, because Blue Sky Phase is just that. What we mean when Blue Sky is like, we're just dreaming, we're throwing things out there, we're being creative, and it's not confirmed because it has to go through all these approval processes. And Disney fans know that, and we get tired of Blue Sky Phase. We want to know what's actually happening. And the fact that they took that feedback and only gave us stuff that's actually happening is probably the biggest news out of this whole dang D23.
Yeah. When he said nothing here is blue sky, I was like, y'all, this is about to be a roller coaster. Get ready.
Up.
Yeah.
And the fact that they hid some of this stuff is the mind-blowingest part.
Well, like, my husband has watched some videos of like the content creators on YouTube that are like, I've got the construction permits for this project, and this is what I think is going to happen. Like, I've never been somebody that watched one of those. I did watch one yesterday, and the guy was like, I called this 2 months ago because I looked at this permit, and I'm like, this is mind blowing. Like,
Disney Food Blog used to do that. They used to search the food permits and everything, but that's off topic. It's off topic. The point is, we are really excited to share all this D23 parks and experience news with you guys. We hope this got you fired up to experience the Disney parks as they are today, and you'll have something to look forward to in the future. So make sure you hit up one of our agents. Me and Katie, our socials will be listed in the comments and notes and all that stuff. We would love to help you, but if we aren't your vibe, why are you watching our show? There's plenty of other people in our agency that would love to help you. So reach out, and we will get you set up with your own personal Walt Disney World or Disneyland or Disneyland Paris or whatever you want, girl. We got you. But until the next time, have a great day, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.